Welcome back to the channel, my friends. Okay, so we're about to try and figure this bike out. There are some things that I've realized. This bike was a death trap, and it's all things that I should have looked at before I took it out for the first time. This is the second trip out on the EX500 Ninja, and I am already finding out that this thing is on point. Guys, I am cruising with no concerns. She is running like a champ. I can spin on the throttle, and she never gives out. So I just realized I forgot my wallet. I can't put gas in it, so I better turn around and go home. Let me give you a close-up here. Look at that. You can see the speedometer works, and the odometer is turning. So at least we know our speed. That was a quick little install on the speedo cable. And yeah, so that was, I had one in stock. And no worries there. The other thing I did was bled the brakes for the front brakes, and they work perfectly. So now we can stop as we should. Look at that. She ain't no super sport, but she definitely cruises and moves. So, here we are, 1991 EX500 Ninja. I'm gonna rush home and grab my wallet, and then I will join back up with you. All right, off we go. Now, we could take the way we took before. I think we'll actually go down here. Well, we could go that way. All right. It is a beautiful night. I'll probably get a little bit cold, but see how we make out. Look at that. All the way up through the RPMs. So the only problem we had in the carburetors was putting in the wrong parts. So that obviously, so far, is repaired and working perfectly. So yeah, like I said in the beginning of the video, this thing was kind of a death trap, and there was things that I didn't pay attention to, and there was things that, well, obviously I didn't notice. So let me just start with a couple things that needed to be addressed. The easy thing was the line going from the tachometer down to the wheel. That was obviously missing. And as you can see now, it is completely working. I'm doing 40 miles per hour, and my miles are going up as we speak. Second thing, my front fairing was barely hanging on by any screws. So that's obviously, it didn't fall off. So, you know, but that's a bad thing. Let's see. Third thing, which I didn't have good mirrors adjustments. Now, I started working on the mirrors, and they're not in good shape right now. I might just go ahead and buy a set, put a new set of mirrors on here, because the one on the right side is not staying where it's supposed to. It's flopping around. The one that should be on the left, I actually drilled out the bolt that holds it on and realized I don't have another bolt to put in. So currently I have no mirrors, which I like to keep an eye behind me because you never know when some guy's gonna cream into you and end your life or end your day. So be very careful. That was the third thing, I guess. Fourth thing was the front brake. The lever was coming the whole way to the bar and it worked okay, but it wasn't great. So I did bleed the air out of that brake, put in some new fluid, and we are definitely 100% on the front brake now. The other thing that I noticed with my brakes, which should not have been, I forgot to plug in the rear brake light on the front brake. Now, when you ride a motorcycle, you should use the rear and the front. So my rear was still working, but had I just applied my front, my rear brake light would not have lit. So I do have that plugged in. It is working now. That's just one thing that I missed when I put this thing back together. The gas leak on the tank, I did address that. It's not leaking now. The one thing about that, now I sealed it all up with some gasket material. I didn't want to wait for a new gasket kit to come in, and I figured it was just around the tank where the petcock meets it, and it's not leaking now, so it looks like I'm correct. But you know, we only took that short ride, and when I took the carbs apart, I noticed some sediment, some rusty particles in the bottom of the carb bowl, and that was only from that short ride, so that must have come out of the tank. Well, I did put an inline filter in to try and catch any of that, and hopefully that does not clog up. I don't know where it came from, obviously from the tank into the carbs, but I don't know why that came through. So that is all I can really tell you right now. The other things are functioning on this bike. I have a clutch, it works. The rear tire seems to be sliding around. I did check pressures on them and they're fine. But this thing is flying. Oh, did my light bulb just burn out? Looks like I might have just burned out a light bulb on the dashboard, as my tachometer just went dark. It still works, but it's not on. It's not lighting up. I don't know, I'll have to check that. Maybe something came loose. But guys, this is the EX500, and this was made in '91, and I did not research specs before I left, but mine's running great. I did steal my carburetor parts out of the '94. They do share needles and jets, so I cleaned those up and put them in here. That carb set is nasty. We're gonna run that through the cleaner and get that thing all loosened up and clean and free, and then I can start putting the '94 back together also. But yeah, as far as this guy goes, what an awesome ride. We do have 6 speeds, and I'm using every bit of it. Actually, I'm in 6th gear right now. But with all the adjustments and all the cleaning and fixing all the leaks on this baby, it's gonna be a good bike for someone. I'm gonna go ahead and order mirrors. I can have some spare parts around for the next time something needs fixed. But having the fairing mounted correctly is really nice. But not being able to see behind me is kind of a problem. Now, it is dark, so I could probably tell there's some headlights behind me. So that's not so bad, but I can't stand not being able to see around me. But yeah, it's nice to have a speedometer. Now I know if I'm speeding and when I'm not speeding, because I'm not speeding. But she started right up when I put her back together. She idled great. Oh, I'm not in gear. Wonder why I did that. It must have been above neutral, not in second yet. Open her up. Yeah, she is not a super fast bike. But she gets you where you need to go and does what you need to do. But you can roll out the entire throttle, and as long as you're not in first gear, you're not going to get in too much trouble. I used to ride one of these. I used to commute on one, and you know, get on the highway and the freeway and just open her up and just cruise along. And she's comfortable. You're not leaning too forward. She does everything you need her to do. Oh, I just love seeing the lights at night. But hopefully, I don't know if I'll get out on this bike before I get mirrors. Maybe I will. I took the Shadow out last night for a quick little ride. But if I don't, maybe I'll get the mirrors in, and this thing will be a little bit safer the next time we ride. It's definitely getting dark and it's a little cooler, so she is running definitely cool. This is a liquid cooled bike, but it's not very hot, so liquid cooling isn't going to have to do a whole lot right now. So guys, I've been throwing around the idea of starting a series on my channel called Talking About Motorcycles. Admit it, you're doing it anyway. That's the title. So if you guys are interested in that, I already have one video filmed talking about why you don't use cheap parts that may or may not work on your bike. So I'll probably be uploading that. But tell me, what are some topics you would want discussed? I kind of want to do a round table, invite some guests in, and just basically discuss things that interest us all in the motorcycle community. It can be anything from specific motorcycles to years or cruisers or brands, and topics motorcycle riders enjoy. Basically, throw out your ideas in the comments. And once my channel's big enough, we can do it live, maybe. Answer your questions. So like and subscribe so I can get more subscribers so we can actually do it live. That's up to you guys. I'll keep putting out content, but y'all need to y'all need to help me get there. I'm not allowed to do lives until I am monetized. Alright, so what is our red speed there? 55. So 55 miles per hour. It's nice to know that I can go 55 without sputtering and coughing. Well, now that we know that the EX500 is running like a champ, I think it's safe to say I can take her home, put her up for the evening, and change out that light bulb. But Hey, it is 55 out here. I'm not even speeding. Look at that. But I guess this can be the end of the vlog. Hopefully I didn't bore ya. Happy to show you that this bike is actually running like a top. And I'm really happy with it. I don't know if we'll do any modifications to this one. Probably move on to the 94 and make sure the 94 runs and does all the things. And maybe we can get two bikes out together. It's always nice to go out riding with the guys, riding with someone on something similar to what you're riding. This would also be a great bike to teach people how to ride on. If you ride this, and I'll tell you what, first gear is pretty finicky. I mean, you gotta ease on the throttle. If you hit it in first, you might be able to pull a wheelie on this thing. So if you learn on a really careful how to use the throttle, then it might not be too hard to ride just about anything else. Alright guys, so I will see you in the next one. Tune in for more on the EX500 and the Shadow. We're riding both of them right now. And let me know what you want to see done, fixed next. I guess I can leave it up to you. There is a new bike in the stable, so not sure when you'll see it, but sooner or later we'll get you a look at the new bike. But I'll see you on the next one.